Hi guys, it's the Foxy Artist. We're all spending time today sharing tips. So we did a daytime look, we did a nighttime look, and now I'm gonna do a little eyelash lesson. So, and I'm going to do this eyelash lesson on Amy. She has nothing on her eyes right now. No mascara. She just has one little sweep of like a nude eyeshadow, I think. So we're going to start right away. I'm going to start by putting the tiniest line in the lash line. And I'm using individual eyelashes. And I'm putting a little of the glue on the back of my hands, which I love to work off of. And I'm using individual eyelashes, which I trim into. And I like to trim into the lashes so that they have kind of a little tapered, tailored look to them, where they're not just so perfect like they come in the package. Because, let's see, and sometimes you have to like really get in there to get them to trim. And then go into the second row. And then sometimes I notice I might need to trim one a little more and go into that after. So I might grab my other scissors that are sharper.
So you're going into them, you're not cutting across.
Exactly. So I'm actually just taking a few off on the ends.
Mm-hmm.
So like that.
Oh, okay.
So then when it tapers, I think, oh, if I cut a few of those off there, that would look great on this side of the eye.
Right.
And then for this eye, and I want to taper them so they kind of have a little feathering feel going this way, I'll cut off through here. So some of them I've trimmed on the left and some of them I've trimmed on the right. And as I work through the lash line, I'll determine where might need the trimmed lash on the left and the trimmed lash on the right. So I'm going to start.
Just sit down?
Yeah, I would just kind of relax your eyes down.
Okay.
And let me put this down here. And I like to give just a slight lift to the eye, and I like to bury the lash in the hairs. So as you can see, the individual lash just disappears into Amy's natural eyelash line. And so I may choose to start with one on the tail end of the eye, and now I may work towards the inner corner of the eyes. So again, I sort of wiggle in the hairs. And sometimes somebody may only need a few eyelashes. You could just do maybe 3 or 4 on each side, or sometimes just a few at the end. But the most important part of this technique is really getting the eyelash in the lash bed of the eyes. And so the lash I just chose has this little side trimmed off, so it looks like it's going to taper and feather, so I'll choose to put that one in this area of the eyelash line. Because if you don't trim it, I feel like, oh, then there's this hair that's just kind of sticking out, and it's not giving a natural flow to the eye line. So, and then I may go to this corner and look over here, because I think it gives a chance for some of these to kind of dry, which is always good too. So then I'll come to this side, and we can all stand together here. While those are drying on the other side, I'll just tuck a few away into there. So going right into the lash line.
It's great because it doesn't feel like anything.
Right? They feel like your very own eyelashes.
Yes.
My clients will keep their eyelashes on for days. I hate to say it, sometimes even over a week.
Wow.
And it's these that are not permanent, and they will keep them on. And I sometimes just give a little lift to the lid gently, because I feel like it opens up the area between where the hairs are kind of sitting. And So it allows you to kind of wedge the eyelash in there a little bit better. And I use the dark duo glue. I feel like unless there's an occasion for me to use the light, you know, white or clear glue, I always use dark. And again, wedging the lash in between the lash hairs.
So do you use all the same length of lash?
Right now I am using all short to teach the technique, but there are times where, if say like we were doing red carpet today, I would maybe add in a few medium length with the short. And then sometimes if the glue tends to like to sneak down, I just gently pull it away from the lash line there. But you can see that the individual lash is just disappearing into the lash line.
Yeah.
So then I start to go back into the other side of the lash and I'm blending in between. And it's almost where I kind of do this basket weaving process towards the second part, or the second go around of the eyelash. I sort of kind of basket weave it in between the hairs in getting to the lash line, which I think helps it stay on.
And look more natural.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks really natural.
And I do think by trimming them, it helps to give them that wispy kind of look that no matter what length of lash you're wearing or how many you have on, it just looks more natural. You know, some women like to wear a ton of eyelashes. Some women maybe like to wear, like I said, 3 or 4 tucked away in their lash line just to give that more glamorous look. So again, I'm just tucking it in. And I will use my finger to sort of just gently push them into the lash line to make sure that they're secure. And I always like to just kind of make sure that they're not sticking to the lower lashes. And I see a little bit of glue here, so I'm just gently gonna pull that away. But I can see with Amy and the shape of Amy's eye, she doesn't need too many through the inner corner of the eye. It almost looks more natural if it's more wispy. And then, you know, we filled a few extra through the tail end part of the eye, but I think that this is pretty good without any extras.
I can't wait to see it.
Let me get a mirror. If we had a mirror out somewhere, let's see. So I'm going to go into the inner corner, and again, I've chosen a lash that I've cut off the inner corner added hairs. So again, it creates that feathered, wispy look. And I sometimes stand to the side instead of always standing in front of the client so that I can see how the lashes are flowing across the eye. So I can see where there's an open space that I might want to fill in. So I can see if there's one that I may want to kind of add a little extra eyelash with, like this one here. We could use a little extra glamorous individual eyelash right here on the corner. So So again, tucking them in, and you're sort of just going in between the hairs, wiggling it and wedging it into the lash line, even though it seems like it might not want to go. And then look up, and you can see it just disappears into the lash line. You can see that the very fine black line that we put on Amy's eye earlier is just sort of enhancing the lash line, adding that richness. She could pretty much go out just like this. Okay guys, last lash. There we have it, a beautiful set of individual eyelashes. I hope you've enjoyed learning this technique. If you have any questions, please let me know. Just put it in the comments below, and be sure to follow me on @foxyfleet. And thank you for joining us with my Foxy Artists.